Yo, 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 what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Game Drain with your boy Ham Solo here. Matt likes games and
Hello.
Twan. Hard Days Mike is taking the week off, and in fact, just to give everybody kind of a heads up that's either stopping here now or later, we are actually going to be taking the rest of the year off after
Ooh.
this episode. So, just so we can have some time to hang out with family, game, and do literally whatever we
The
want.
holiday
So,
season. Yeah.
Yes.
yes, it'll be a nice little refreshing bit.
And we'll come back strong in the new year, you know?
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be some something to talk about or whatnot because I mean, even right now there's a little bit to talk about, but nothing mind blowing.
Unless we talk about soccer, but I don't want this to be a sports podcast.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about soccer.
Game. It was a really good game, though.
Not getting into that, bud. Not doing it. You can bait me all you want. Not doing it. But anyways, let's go on ahead and talk about what we've been playing and whatnot as of lately. For me, I'm pissy right now because I want to be playing Need for Speed.
Yeah.
And somehow the copy that I purchased went from supposedly delivering yesterday to coming on Wednesday, so arriving Wednesday. And I'm like, geez Louise, it's like 4 days later.
That's one hell of a delay.
Sorry,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Sorry about that.
So I'm blaming it on Twan because he works there. And I know Canada had their finger in it, trying to, get their piece of the pie off of my $35 purchase. They really want my $35 and they want to make me feel like shit about it. They said, "Oh, you're going to drive fast and break the law." Well, we're going to slowly arrive. But anyways, yeah, so I haven't been playing that. I did play some of a cheap game I purchased a little while back called Rogue Trooper on the original Xbox. Has been playing some of that. That's been pretty fun. Let's see. For my Xbox, what's that? Oh yeah, I played a little bit of High on Life. That game is pretty fantastic. It came out kind of terrible, but but yeah,
terrible. In what way?
It was horribly broken. Like the first day, the first night, I should say, because they patched it on launch day, but it launched early technically. So the first few hours it was horribly broken.
It looked early.
That's wild.
It did.
Yeah, but
like in what way was it just glitching
out? It's
like the frame pacing or something with it.
Yeah, put it this way: it's a 60 FPS game, but it felt like it was running at about 20.
No.
So yeah, it was in a pretty rough state.
Wow. But I mean, at least they fixed it pretty fast.
They fixed it technically when it was supposed to launch. So I mean,
so I guess
can I be mad at them? I don't know. They probably shouldn't have released it early though.
Yeah.
So was it? So can you say it was broken on launch because it wasn't technically? It wasn't the release date of it.
Maybe it was a mistake. It's probably a mistake.
Yeah. Could have been a mistake. Very possible. Who knows?
So I played some High on Life and playing some 2K basketball. Anything else I can think of right now? Sonic. I always almost say Sonic Adventure, Sonic Frontiers. I like to. I play that anytime I get on like a podcast where I'm not like hosting or I'm not going to be busy. So I was playing that during most of the 108 Dragons TV podcast I did on Saturday. That was fun, and it's so easy to get lost in that game. Or
which island are you on right now?
Knuckles.
Oh wait, that's the
second island.
Oh, that's the second one. That's correct. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the second island, but I'm pretty far into the second island. Like I'm at the point where like when I'm playing it while being on somebody else's, show, that I'm like, oh man, I've been here like 8 times. Like, but that game, it's just so much fun just to like
running around.
Yeah, you just get to run in super duper fast, and you're just like kind of. I mean, the game is super duper chill. If you're not in a rush to beat it, it's really relaxing just to kind of speed around, get the unlimited boost for a little bit, and just screw around and beat the hell out of anything around you. Some of the things that you beat up, freaking weird. Like I was beating up a spring.
Oh yeah, you go onto it, then you stomp on it, right?
Yeah, it was something. Yeah. It was definitely something.
The boss fights are crazy though in that game. Like the supersonic one, those things.
Yeah, that boss fight so far. I've only had one big boss fight with supersonic.
Yeah, there's one per island.
And it was phenomenal. It felt very anime, like Dragon Ball Z-esque.
It almost felt like a fan game, almost. That was the way it was. It's just I don't know,
absolutely
how chaotic it was.
I can't disagree with that. I also been playing some Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Beat the campaign finally after
a
few months of it being out. I just didn't really have the drive really to do it that much, and then Chivalry and whatnot asked us to get into that raid.
Yeah.
And when I did that raid, it just made me want to go on ahead and finish the game. So I went on ahead and did that. That raid is really cool, and I've been wanting to do that ever since.
We got to stream it.
Oh man, it's so fun. It's such a good raid. Just because of the different aspects that they have to it. I mean, you're swimming in one moment, and then you're freaking... And then you have to pass around the oxygen tank between the 3 of you, which is insane. You have to like break codes to get into doors, and you need like a third person there to help break that code within like a reasonable amount of time. Because those codes restart and stuff like that. So I don't see how you do that second door or that last door that we were trying to get in before we stopped playing for the night. I don't see...
Dude, that was tough.
I don't see how you do that without a third person minimum.
Yeah.
But is it possible to do them single player? Is that even possible?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's like only a multiplayer thing.
But yeah, that last part we were doing was really difficult.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a challenge to get that, but I know it's gonna be worth it though. It's gonna feel great getting that beaten.
Absolutely. So that's pretty much the stuff that I can... I did try Lego Star Wars last night, and that game was pretty fun.
You can't go wrong with any of the Lego games. You can't go wrong with any of the Lego games. They're always fun.
I just didn't think it was really for me, and then Game Pass happened.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm like 20 minutes into it, and then I'm an hour into it, and then I'm 2 hours into it, and I'm like, all right, dude, I gotta go to bed, and it's fucking 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I'm just like, geez Louise, gotta go. But anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of what I've been playing lately. I know there's another game that I've been playing all week that I forgot about, but whatever. Twan, what's been going on with you, man? What have you been playing?
Okay, I'm almost done Need for Speed. I'm on the last week. Just I took a little bit of a break from it because I was been itching to play some other arcade racers. Like I've been playing Burnout 3 again.
I'm gonna pause you real quick, Twan, because
what's going on?
I just have to throw something out there. Me and Matt realize that Need for Speed is kind of dangerous for you to be playing. It brings out a different Twan. A Twan that I don't know if I like.
I heard Twan like viscerally angry for the first time ever. Like actually, like full on rage.
There's a reason why I have to take a break from that game. Like
that's what I know. That's why I brought it up. Is because you're like, I took a break and I came back, and I'm like, I know why you took a break, motherfucker. Like you fucking was ready to probably break your PS5 in half.
That game is so fun. That game is so stressful, man. Like, you know, you have like 30 grand on the line, and then you're on your last retry just to go into a head-on collision, and you want to throw your because like you only have so many tries, right?
And you even said when you were playing it, I'm about to throw my fucking controller.
I don't know if I said that. I don't think I said that. But
oh man,
I just dropped a few F-bombs, and then I think Matt, you guys weren't here for this, but I was playing it. It was just me and Mike, and I lost 50 grand because I got arrested, and I just yelled out the F word like as loud as I could, you know.
As loud as you could. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed about that, but whatever. It is what it is, you know. But luckily, when you're in the 4th week, though, they really throw a lot of money at you. It's like one race, like, hey, here's 80 grand. I'm like, oh, okay, you know. That's like, so I mean, luckily, it's not too bad. So the game definitely pushes you towards, you know, it's like, okay, you know, you don't have that much time left. Here's a lot of money, you know, in advance. Whole thing. So yeah, it's stressful, but it's fun. It's stressful in a fun way. And but so yeah, besides that, I've been playing Burnout 3, and that game is just so fun, man. I haven't played it in a little bit and just want to go back to it. I started a new save file and everything. You just can't go wrong with that game at all. It's just, you know, turn your brain off fun. And then I went back and started playing Split Second again. And that game as well is just
that game is fantastic.
That game is like so like honestly, when I play that game, I'm actually depressed because I'm like, how did this game fail? Like this game actually put the studio under. That's how bad it did. Because like it just flopped that hard. I'm like, it had like everything going for it. Music, like the graphics, you know, it's just everything. But I don't know, it is what it is, but at least the game exists in some form. So yeah, I played that. I just got first place in all the seasons. I wanted to clean that up because I had some that I was still in like second place. So finish that up. And other than that, I've been playing Bomberman 93 on the turbo graphics. Just there was the expensive North American version I want to get, but that was like $500. I'm like, do you know what? I think I'll save $400 and get the Japanese version. So I just got the Japanese version for like $50. So you know, I was like, you know, it's not really a text heavy game, so I'll just stick with the Japanese version. And it's a lot of fun, the game. So I've been enjoying that as well. And that kind of wraps it up. There's probably something I'm missing, but at least at the top of my head, that's what I could think of.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Sorry I had to turn off my camera for a minute because I had to help my daughter, but
no worries.
Anyways, Matt, what's been going on with you? What have you been playing, brother? I know you're gonna God damn it, you're gonna bring up something that I've been playing that I completely forgot about. I'm just gonna let you do it, and I'm not gonna spoil your fun. Go on ahead. Let everybody know what you've been playing.
What am I gonna bring up?
The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
That was an obvious one.
So I beat Need for Speed. I beat that before the Witcher 3 patch came out. So I got that done. And then, yeah, like Ham said, The Witcher 3. That game is fucking fantastic. And this time around, because I beat it before, but I didn't do many side quests at all. This time around, I'm doing any and every side quest I find. I'm doing monster contracts. I'm doing side quests. I'm doing all this stuff. And I'm trying to get into like the actual mechanics of the game, like how to like restore weapons and stuff like that. Because I went through the whole game the first time not knowing what I was doing at all. Like I missed on like 75% of the game. I missed out on the first time.
Maybe you can help me then whenever I have questions on stuff, because there's certain things there's certain things I either just don't really understand, or you know, it's because it's my first time playing the game. You know, like I mean, I played it on my Switch, but you can equate that to like 3 hours.
Yeah, that's
is this Switch version game this update, or is that just
it did get an update, not a graphical one, obviously, but it does get
Yeah.
It does get the update in that it gets the same content.
Yeah.
Yes. But it still runs like shit. Looks like shit.
Yeah, it does look really bad. Like to the point that I'm like I traveled to like middle of nowhere city in Nebraska to meet halfway with some of my wife's family that's in Denver. And I was just like, I'm not going to bring my Xbox there, even if they have internet. It's dog shit. Mm-hmm. Got there, couldn't even connect my Switch to the internet. It was such dog shit. And I was playing. I turned on, the game and whatnot, and it was just. I was just like, dude, everything about this trip is dog shit. Like, Switch is dog shit. Like, this internet's dog shit. This hotel's dog shit. The area in Nebraska I'm in is dog shit. Like, it was just all dog shit. But I did have, I ended up having a pretty good time with the family. We ended up traveling about an hour or hour and a half away, and we went to this big ass arcade that's kind of well known in this city called North Platte, I believe. So, no, not North Platte, Kearney. In the city called Kearney, they have a pretty big arcade that I've always drove by, but never been to. So I thought it was kind of cool that we all went there. They even had the indoor like go-karts.
Oh, go-kart, nice.
There you go.
Which it was me, my wife, my wife's mom, and her dad, and my daughter.
Speaking of your wife, and that's a weird way to start that sentence. But I was playing Halo Infinite, capturing some footage for my video for tomorrow, and guess who I got paired with in a random game? Your wife.
No way, that's hilarious.
Because I looked down on the team and said Kalel, I'm like, what? I was like, holy shit, that's Sam's wife.
Did you guys win or lose?
We ended up winning. It was a big team battle match.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, small world.
Right?
I wonder how she did that match. Man. She usually does fairly well, so she probably
pretty decent. Not bad. The whole team did well. Yeah,
that's freaking hilarious. But
I thought that was hilarious too.
But and dude, one thing that we did weird that trip was this VR thing, and I actually posted about it a little while back, where I was like in this like VR like square kind of like it looked like a ring kind of that you get into. Like there's a little platform that you stand on, but there's two gunners, right? There's two like machine guns, and then their VR headset above the machine gun, and you put on the hat like crazy ass helmet or whatnot. And then the guys are like, all right, brace, like grab, put your hands on the gun and kind of get into a bracing position, right? Mm-hmm. The floor starts moving around. And might I add, like I'm wearing the headset, so I don't see the floor. I look down and I see the video game.
Yeah.
So like I'm looking around and like we're on like an elevator type thing in the game going down, but like explosions start happening, the elevator's like shaking, and like this place had like these crazy big like car wash like fans in them, and they were like blowing air, like simulating what it was like with my elevator kind of like kind of crashing down. And like the floor was shaking, air was moving. I could hear the like the noise of the game in my head, and like they're doing call outs back and forth to each other, like, oh, we gotta evacuate and stuff like that. And I had to shoot from right there, dude. I thought that was like the coolest arcade. That's what arcades need to be now.
Well, yeah,
arcades need to be not these cheap like VR experiences that we go to. They need to be like something on a grand scale of like 20 or 30 different VRs where they spend like a few $1 million on putting together an arcade and just heavily like have security and stuff like that around just to keep people from doing dumb shit.
Because if you think about it, arcades back in the day, those are the type of games that you'd play because you couldn't get those games at home. Like for example, with the Neo Geo, that shit was like advanced at the time, and owning something like that was just way too expensive, right? So you go to the arcades and play it instead, right? Same thing with like a VR headset, right? You're gonna have this VR headset with all these fucking sensors and shit. Like no one's gonna buy that at home. Like that's an arcade experience right there. You know, it's just natural. You know, I don't know. I feel like it's a natural evolution for it. You know,
like what I'm saying is like there's malls all over the country going out of business. Some crazy dumb rich motherfucker needs to just buy a mall and make the whole mall just different VR games.
Yeah, be sick.
And just like, have it like a price a price admission when you walk in, like $50 a head or something like that, and just have the most premier shit to where it's just like, dude, I gotta go to this place, and it has to like start off in like a New York, Chicago, LA, Dallas or Houston, or like it has to start off somewhere big, you know, like even like a Disneyland or something like that, like just something that would be so amazing. Because I did that one VR thing that I did there, and I was just like, dude, I want to do that again. I'm willing to spend another like $20-$30 and do that again. But we had, my daughter with us, and we didn't want to, because she can't do that. So we just kept it moving. But that was amazing. And if I could get like a place where you have like 10, 15, 20 different VR setups where they're all different types of games.
It could be there all day,
Exactly. Like I'd be there like freaking for hours on end. Like I'll stand in line for that gladly, or grab a ticket. Like I'd love to like grab a ticket and put my name down or something like that, and then you just like hang out in like a lunch area or whatnot until they call your ticket, and then you go into a room.
Yeah, just have like a bunch of VR, like just crazy VR experiences with the sensors, the wind blowing in your face and everything. And like just have actual games that are actually fun on top of that. Imagine that. Like that'd be amazing,
Yeah, setups where you have like the treadmills and stuff like that. Like they strap you up and whatnot, and you're like walking around on the treadmills and whatnot. And
like, dude, could you imagine if you made like a VR version of like House of the Dead with like the sensors and everything, wind blowing your face in VR, and you're playing the game, you're shooting zombies. Like imagine how sick that would be.
That would be amazing, because they do have like VR things where you like sit in the thing and like you'll like go into like the fake water in the game, and like splash of water will hit you, like a real splash of water will like hit you in the face, and it'd be super cool to like be like shooting in like House of Dead, like you're saying, and like they lean back and like spit like a venom at you, and you get like splashed with like some water like on your face, and like that would be so lit, dude. Like, oh my god, that'd be insane.
We gotta get there eventually. Like,
I think that has to happen. I just don't like. Here's the thing, in my opinion, and it's just like video games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but like there's still only a few people or companies with real money that are willing to invest in it. I'm wondering when there will become a time like where like people will find their niche within an investment within video games, instead of because I feel like a lot of these companies or like people with money look at video game and they're just like, oh, that's a lot of hassle. Like you got that, like, you got to have so much different stuff and all these damn different licenses, and like, why am I gonna even try to compete with the Sony or Xbox or Nintendo. Sega with their anybody with what are the cabinets and stuff like that? Like, why even try that anymore? Those are dead now. So
they don't even want to bother trying to bring it back. It's like, fuck it. It's a sinking ship. That's the way they look at it.
Absolutely, but yeah, I really love, and I see you, Stanley and friends. I see you, bro. I see you, Stanley, up in the chat. I always is it Francois? I gotta ask you, is it Francois or like, man? I don't know if I'm ever saying that right. But anyways, glad to see you here. I appreciate you. Sensei 808's also up in here. Good to see you as well. But yeah, right now we're talking. We got totally off subject from Matt talking about what he's been playing this week, and we've been talking about experience that I had in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska at this arcade. Twan, please, they need to grab a shutdown mall and turn it into just a massive VR place where you can just experience so many damn different things.
Yeah, if I won $1 billion, I'd definitely do that. You know, just fucking, get some place and just fucking go crazy with that shit. You know,
nice.
I mean, the overhead sounds insane, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
the overhead sounds insane. But if you have I feel like if you have like I don't know, like 5 technicians. Mm-hmm. Like people that know how to like repair something that goes
and shit like that. Yeah,
exactly. And then you can just like hire them throughout the week.
Yeah,
and then really all you need is to hire a few people just to hook up other people to the stuff and whatnot. But I could see starting a business like that being millions of dollars up front,
100%,
and then just
just
taking like 5 to 10 years to pay off.
Yeah, just the cabinets alone are just going to be expensive,
Just the space alone that you need to have multiple VR, like things, because this VR thing that I was in, it was in a really big space, but it wasn't so massive that you would need, realistically, you don't even need something the size of a mall. Mall is massive. Just like something the size of Best Buy.
Oh, yeah.
Or Kmart. Or something like that would probably be sufficient.
Kmart, let's go.
Kmart, let's go is right.
That's right. That's another. I didn't really think about that too, because of let's say if you have a VR thing, right? You probably need someone standing by it, right? To hook people up, like you said. Because with arcade machines, you usually don't really need that. It's like, okay, you pop in a quarter and you play the game, Very straightforward. But VR setups would be a bit more complicated, but some people probably wouldn't know how to set it up properly.
Right.
So you probably would need someone standing by it like at all times, or depending on how complicated it is, right? But
you wouldn't want to leave any of that. Just for any of that investment, you're not leaving none of that to just the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck the people.
The thing is, though, like it's because at the same time, people would always leave out arcades and they'd be like, okay, just, whatever, right? Even with like the guns. That's why you see all those light gun games busted all the time, where you'll try to shoot and the gun doesn't work or something like that. Because, people just kind of throw it around, maybe they'll drop it. It's like, I don't know, that's just the thing. It's maintenance, right? That you got to do on that shit. So, like a lot of people are going to be using that shit, right? That's just the nature of the industry, I guess.
But, nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. All right, so let's go on ahead and move it on. And Matt, I want to pass this over to you and see what you were talking about, because I guess the way I'll kind of introduce it is like you were saying something about free to play, and whenever I hear the word free, my ears perk up a little bit because that's like one of the best words ever made. But you were talking about Unreal Tournament. Now tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. Okay, so Unreal Tournament 3 is going, as you said, free to play. And I think they're changing the name to Unreal Tournament 3X, which is interesting. I'm not entirely sure why they'd be changing the name, but who knows? But the big thing about this is the fact that it does not feature any sort of microtransactions. It is cross-play between Steam, Epic Game Store, and GOG. Not on console, so that's unfortunate.
We kind of have it on Xbox, but not the 3X.
Yeah, you have it. You have it on 360 backwards compatibility, so you can play it on Xbox. But it's very interesting considering the fact that Unreal, or not Unreal, but Epic has made a huge move from anything related to Unreal Tournament in the past, I don't know, half decade, maybe.
Fortnite.
Yeah, it's
it was
just
Fortnite made them all go off rails. I feel because like it was
exactly.
it was a community driven thing. I'm pretty sure
Exactly.
for a bit.
That Fortnite money changed them up pretty quick, and I
Yeah.
can't say that I blame them, quite frankly. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's strange and exciting that now of all times seems like they're testing the waters for some sort of Unreal Tournament revival, or maybe this is simply just them saying, "Yeah, Unreal Tournament's free to play now," and maybe they don't explore it any further. But my optimistic side is hoping that this is them testing the waters for possibly bringing back the Unreal Tournament IP.
But
because
oh,
what's
sorry,
that?
I'll let you continue for a bit.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, are they actually adding new content to the game, or is it literally
See,
just
that's
gonna
what
be
I'm
Unreal
trying to
Tournament
find
3?
out, because when I read it initially, I did not see that they were adding any new content to the game. It says for now, it is not known when the free versions will be released. Old servers of Unreal Tournament 3 are scheduled to be shut down on January 24th of next year. The new incarnation of the game will debut only after that event. So we're not even really entirely sure when this is happening. All we know is that it's happening. And they are taking down Unreal Tournament 3's original servers
Okay, so
early next year.
3X is gonna be like treated as like a different SKU kind of thing,
A
right?
whole different thing, new servers and everything.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I was like, if they're just gonna make Unreal Tournament 3, I'm like, what's even the point of calling it X? Why not just make the game
That's
3? You know,
Yeah, that's kind of what
right?
I thought also is, but it looks like it's going to be its own thing, like an entirely different not
Version of it.
launcher, yeah, version, entirely different game in your Steam library or
Yeah.
whatever. But free to play is interesting, and free to play without any microtransactions is
But I wonder
very
how they're gonna make
interesting.
money off it. You know, I guess it's just a thing they're throwing out there.
See,
I guess.
my whole theory on this is they're not probably, they're not going to make any money off of this.
Yeah.
What they're doing is, again, my optimistic brain is, this is them saying, let's see how in demand this really is. Because and they're giving it smartly to PC players first, because while I would
That's
love
the
to play
main
it on
market, right?
exactly, I would love to play it on console, but the main market for Unreal Tournament is and
Especially
has
just
always been PC.
Always been the
especially
PC
just
or the
especially
original
just arena.
Xbox.
Yeah,
True, the
arena
original
shooters in
Xbox was
general.
big too.
Yeah, just arena shooters in general are like
That's
PC.
exactly,
Yeah,
like Quake and stuff, like Unreal
yeah,
Tournament. It's always been PC driven.
yes,
So it's smart of them to bring it back for that, to see how much of a demand there really is. And I'm hoping, I'm going to be downloading it. I know that.
yeah.
I'm hoping that the demand is there. And I think that if it is, then this will be their play to possibly bring Unreal Tournament back and maybe start making some money off of it. Maybe.
But I'm curious as to why they'd bring back Unreal Tournament 3 and not that other one that they were making before they started working on Fortnite. Because I remember they were making another one. It was like a
yeah.
community-driven version of Unreal Tournament, and they're all like, "Okay, guys, they're gonna be helping out Fortnite. We're making this battle royale mode, you know." And then after that, it was
Yeah.
just radio silent. Like, are they not gonna go back to that, or you know?
I think Unreal Tournament, I think because of, I mean, I don't know for sure. I would imagine it's because of how the community probably felt with them abandoning that.
Yeah.
And Unreal Tournament 3 was like the last big Unreal Tournament where it was like a huge deal.
Yeah.
And so they're probably playing, not probably, they're playing a little bit on nostalgia.
Yeah.
So they've got that working for them. And they also probably don't want people to remind people of, hey, we ditched Unreal Tournament before Fortnite.
Yeah.
So they're going back to the good old days with Unreal Tournament 3.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really hyped for that. I'm interested to see when that becomes a thing. Like, all we know is after January 24th. That's all we know. So
Yeah.
only time will tell when this happens.
Yeah, it's just nice to see this will probably bring some life into Unreal Tournament again. You know, at least
I really
hopefully the
hope so.
servers are like actually, because I mean, like it's free, right? So there's got to be, there's got to be some servers, filled up. It's like at least some you
Yeah.
can easily get into. Would be really nice.
I hope at the very least what happens with this is that maybe Epic doesn't see that this is a worthwhile investment for them, but maybe somebody else does.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody else tries to get in on that kind of game. Because there's tons of games, tons of developers looking to make games, especially on PC, that if the market's there, they will absolutely make an Unreal Tournament clone. Absolutely. It's just a matter of time. I'm hoping at least that happens. But
well, I mean, we had some similar attempts, like with Splitgate, that actually did pretty good.
Splitgate was fantastic, and I'm really happy for that studio. And they actually, I guess not so much recently, but within the past 2-3 months, they announced that they're done with development on Splitgate as it is. They've taken all their effort to work on the next iteration of Splitgate. So whatever they make from Splitgate now, these battle passes, whatever, it's all going towards the next iteration of Splitgate, which is I hope I have very high hopes for that game and that studio because I actually need to play some more Splitgate. I haven't played it in a long time, but that game is really, really fun. And they should be very proud of what they did with that. But we need more games like that. And hopefully this will lead to that. So fingers crossed.
Hopefully Titanfall makes a comeback at one point.
Oh my god.
Stop.
Don't even get me started on Titanfall. Don't even get me started on that. Titanfall is just it's so dead. It's just EA hates it, and I don't know why. It's a fantastic game, and they just hate it.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's neither here nor there.
Because that was probably like the biggest budget arena shooter that come out in like years. It was probably Titanfall.
Titanfall was fucking perfect.
Well, I guess technically Halo would be the
Halo's the biggest budget arena shooter in the last decade. Easily.
I mean, that's Halo, right? That's
exactly it's Halo. So, you know. But does anyone have anything to say about Unreal Tournament 3 before we move on to other?
Honestly, I'm excited for that. I'm definitely gonna try.
Well, Sensei in the chat said that Gundam Evolution is also free.
Oh, wasn't that like an Overwatch game? That was like an Overwatch type game, right? Or something.
Gundam
I've never played it, so I would know.
Yeah.
Is that on console or is that the one that was only on PlayStation? No, it's on Xbox. I see it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was like an Overwatch type thing, or at least it was similar to that.
Yeah, I remember they showed that off at I want to say it was the Game Awards, not the Game Awards, but Summer Games Fest.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah, I remember it being there. I remember a Gundam game being there. I'm sure it probably was that.
I think it was this. But yeah, it looked interesting. I'll have to try it. I did not know it was released, actually. So that is something to look forward to, I guess. But we do have more topics here to go on to, if you guys are ready. And that is, we might as well get this one out of the way because it is a pretty big deal. And that's Spider-Man 2, or PlayStation confirming that Spider-Man 2 is coming fall 2023. And I don't know about you guys. I'm hyped for that. I love Miles Morales Spider-Man, and he's going to be in the game. And it looks like you're going to be playing as both Spider-Mans, which is even better.
I wonder how it's going to work.
What's that?
I wonder how it's going to work, or if it's just going to...
I hope, fingers crossed, it has some form of co-op. I hope. But
that'd be interesting. I think it might work the way it worked in Ratchet and Clank, how you kind of switch between Ratchet and David. Might be something like that, I think.
That's also very possible because that was Insomniac, so
so I mean,
that could very well be the case. But I don't know about you guys. Like I said, I'm excited for that. Do you guys have anything to say about Spider-Man?
I mean, we already knew it was coming out in 2023, so I mean that's not really news. But I guess we have a close. I mean, thing about is I can't get too excited about a fall release date because who knows? I guess that's still pretty vague. It's like for all I know, it's not actually gonna come out in fall. It's just that's how it is, right?
That's my thought process. I've gotten jaded with release dates, and no thanks to Microsoft with that. I've gotten quite jaded with release dates and windows. Not dates so much as windows.
Yeah.
But if anybody can hit a release window, I would think that it's Insomniac.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they're saying it's fall, I'm kind of inclined to believe that it's going to be fall.
Yeah.
So unless I'm told otherwise.
Yeah.
But I'm very high for that, and I actually need to play through Spider-Man Remastered. I beat Miles Morales, and I haven't beat Spider-Man Remastered yet.
Well, I mean, but you played the first one before that, right?
I did play the first one, but
I need to clear something up real quick. Is this Spider-Man? I'm sure it is, but is it PS4, PS5? Or is it just PS5?
No, Spider-Man 2, it's only PS5 Spider-Man 2. I know
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's only PS5.
Because if it's only PS5, then I'm more excited than I'd be if it was cross-gen.
No, it's definitely only PS5. I know that for a fact.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure Twan's right here. Yeah. I'm gonna check out this trailer while we're talking.
No, you can look at Wikipedia. It'll probably tell you if you look on Wikipedia if it's on both.
That's a lot better than checking out a trailer. I'll tell you that.
It'll probably just say PS5 under the platform section.
Yeah, I'd sure hope so.
Oh, it is. It is only PS5. I know.
It's only PS5. That's interesting. I did not know that. I kind of assumed that would be out on PS4 as well.
I assumed so as well, right? Just because from all the messaging they've been given, it seems like they don't want to leave any stones unturned. But I guess money has been kind of the motivation, which it's a company, so it's a good thing for them. But yeah, I mean, that makes me even more excited because I really enjoyed the remaster on the PS5. It looks amazing in comparison to the regular one. Then Miles Morales, I platinumed that joint. Like that was
Miles Morales is fantastic.
Like, that's one of the few games I've ever platinumed on PlayStation, and I platinumed that with my chest out. Like I was happy to do that one. Like I was just like, what's the next damn achievement? Give it to me. I'm finna run for it. I'm going for it right now. I'm getting all this shit.
I platinumed the PS4 version of the original game. That's the one I platinumed. That wasn't too bad. It was a pretty straightforward game to platinum.
They're both really fun. It's just something about Miles Morales with his like powers. Electricity and just like the updated freshness of what Insomniac did with that. With they obviously worked on the previous Spider-Man before the remaster as well, and it just kept getting a little bit better. It was like they got Spider-Man and they remastered it, made that better, and then Miles Morales, and that one's even better than the remaster. Everything just felt a little bit smoother, a little bit more. Like in like the battle and whatnot, where Peter Parker felt like a little too smooth and a little messy sometimes.
Or I don't know. Yeah.
I felt like Miles Morales was just like perfect.
Just a lot more tighter.
I agree.
It was tight. It was very.
It was
tight.
Definitely a much tighter game. I felt like Miles Morales did more. That's not to say 2018 was bad. 2018 was a very good game, but I feel like Miles Morales did more in like, I think it was about a 6-hour time frame.
It was a short game.
It was a relatively short
game. It wasn't even full price.
That's another thing. That's one of the most bang for bucks I've gotten this generation in terms of a story that sticks with me, a character that sticks with me, gameplay that sticks with me. And it was only $50. Granted, it was $70 because I paid for the one and got the Spider-Man remastered.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
But it was only $50.
Still a good deal, though. Still a good deal.
Very good.
Deal. Better than spending $80 alone for like the Last of Us remastered or remake. Sorry.
Well, yeah, or what's that shit that Square Enix is doing now with Final Fantasy?
Oh yeah, it's like $75.
$75, like
it's
what?
For NES games?
you guys are high. I don't understand Square Enix, but it's very smart of PlayStation to be launching that exclusively on PS5 because I've noticed. I don't know if you guys have also noticed this. PS5s are starting to be more readily available.
Oh, 100%.
Like especially like compared to where we were last year with this, you can I can go on a website right now and get a PS5. Granted, it's like a special website, but like I can go on a website now and get a PS5. So that was not the case at all last year in any way,
they
shape,
said
or
something
form.
about being like there's no more like wait lines or something like that. Or
it seems like that. It definitely seems like that. In fact, I'm about to go check Amazon. I'm sure Amazon will probably be sold out, but
oh yeah, Amazon. That's like the scalper's like first destination.
yeah,
Is Amazon is like if anything's sold out, Amazon's the first place I would be sold out. You know?
yeah. Amazon's invitation only, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're more readily available, so this is something that will definitely move. Like, if people were still on PS4 waiting to get their PS5, this is something that will definitely get people
That's the extra push
from PS4 to PS5.
Yeah.
So that's a smart move by Sony there. So yeah, I cannot wait for that. Tuan, you got anything on Spider-Man?
Let's say, like I said before, I mean, like we already knew it was 2023, and obviously that's like my honestly, as of right now, I think that's definitely my most like hyped PlayStation game. Like I can't really think of anything else that makes me as hyped as Spider-Man.
Yeah, as far as things that are announced right now,
like
it's
what
gotta
else?
be Spider-Man.
Yeah, like what else is really Sony making?
I mean, I'm not even into Wolverine really as a character, but I'm kind of hyped for that game.
I'm hyped for that game, but I just know it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So it's like, I'm gonna wait to get hyped for that.
That's true.
When we're actually closer to it.
That's true.
So
that makes sense.
Like other than Spider-Man, I think it's like Final Fantasy and maybe Death Stranding 2, but I don't even who knows when that's gonna come out.
Oh, you know what? Death Stranding 2 might be my number one.
Oh, you think so?
Maybe. I have to think about that. But that's damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm another thing to look forward to. Yeah. But yeah, we got more topics here. Moving on, we can talk about.
Wait, what's your number one? Is Death Stranding for what?
Death Stranding 2, as far as like anticipated games from PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane. Okay.
Well, why is that insane?
I mean, Death Stranding
because he hasn't even finished one.
Well, yeah, but I know I love it. I've played more than like 75% of the game, so you know, I've got my own opinions on that. But I do need to finish it. You aren't lying though.
And Ham, are you looking forward to Death Stranding 2? Ham?
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I was just giving Matt a hard time. No. Death Stranding 1, that story was just super duper deep. Everything with Fragile going on, everything with that soldier, you and your own issues with your sister. I mean, there was just so much crap going on, and then the way some of the stuff unveiled, it was just like, what the fuck? and then also just like the network of people that you talk to and mess with and whatnot were pretty interesting and had their own wild stories. Like that. I thought it was so hilarious that you went and picked up a chick that was like 2 miles away. And she was like, she's like, I haven't seen him in forever, and they haven't seen each other and whatnot. And it's like, come on, you guys.
Oh yeah, that was weird. And that was weird because I thought that was like her dad or something. And it was like, oh, that's a relationship. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I remember I had to tell you that. I was like, yeah, they're together. And you're like, no, I thought that was his father.
I'm like, okay, that's different, but all right. God bless. But yeah, I really do need to finish that game. But I'm hyped for Death Stranding 2.
You're gonna wait for Game Pass, Death Stranding 2?
No, I'm gonna get he's gonna wait.
I've already bought Death Stranding on PS5, so
yeah.
I'm probably not gonna beat it there because
you need those Xbox.
Playing. Exactly. Smart man.
Play the worst experience.
You're a smart man, Tuan. But unlike Ham, unfortunately. Spouting nonsense. But but we've also got Amazon. It's announced that Amazon is going to be publishing the Tomb Raider reboot, or I guess the next Tomb Raider and the rebooted series.
Oh shit!
But I found that interesting because
it's an Embracer Group.
They're owned by Embracer Group.
Yeah.
Now, this is a question that is probably dumb, and I probably should know.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look it up for myself here in a second. But is Embracer Group not publishing games? Do they just not publish games?
Like that's with like DHQ Nordic and all that shit, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
That's Saints Row.
Yeah.
That's all that stuff.
And like Deep Silver too, I'm pretty sure, right?
Deep Silver is acquired by them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
yes,
I feel like usually when they publish them, they'd either use one of those, like Deep Silver or THQ Nordic or something like that.
I'm just gonna look up Saints Row publisher.
There could be what I think could be happening is maybe there's some sort of movie in the works of some sort. And maybe they might want to be using Amazon Prime to push out that.
That's kind of a reach.
It's a reach possibly, but it's like not the craziest thing in the world. Like,
it's like, been how long has it been since we got a Tomb Raider movie?
These movies and video games are getting closer and closer and closer together. So to think that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Netflix publish a game from a big time developer.
Could happen.
Netflix is getting into gaming, right?
Yep.
Kind of.
And Amazon's been in gaming.
Netflix just got a game. I forget what it was. They just recently announced that there was a game coming to Netflix's game service. That was like a relatively popular game.
I only remember the closest thing they had to a game was that I think it was like that Black Mirror episode. I don't know if I'm getting that right, where it was like you have like options, and the guy is like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in control" or something. I don't know if you guys remember that thing where it was like you choose what happens in the story kind of thing, where every now and then you'll have like a not a dialogue option, but like a choice. Be like, do this or do that instead. I forgot. I don't know if you guys remember that thing, but that was the closest I remember to a game on Netflix. But
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, the game that Netflix is getting in their service is 12 minutes. And they're getting Kentucky Route Zero. So they're getting those two games in their service.
Cool.
Yeah, good for happy.
12 minutes is actually a pretty good game though. I had a good time. That story is fucked.
Wait, is it like on consoles or is it like on the server?
12 minutes was in Game Pass, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still is. Is it?
Yeah, it came out last year in Game Pass, and that story is. If you haven't played it, like, if you like fucked up stories, like that's a pretty good one.
All right.
like even if you like I don't care how you figure out the things in that game, like. Because there'll be a time where you're like, I did this and I got this already. And then it'll be like, I wonder what the other layers of the story could be. So I found myself on a few different spots of that, looking up certain things to get to the next part of the story, and I was just like, "Oh, this is like when I thought the story was already at its worst, it got way worse." And I was just like, "Oh my god, this is
like worse as like in like just it's getting insane, or is it like actually bad worse? Like
worse as in like worse as in the game is like the story is like insane, like not as in the game size.
Yeah, actually like boring worse, like
no.
So it's like,
it is a good worse.
This is insane. So it's like insane worse. Like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yes.
Kind of worse. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I remember we saw that was like that top down game, right? The 12 minutes, or
it's like
else?
Top down. Isn't it like time based? Not time based, but it's like it literally takes place within 12 minutes. And that's the game, but like changes every time or something. I'm not sure how that works. You played it, so.
But is it still on Game Pass or is it gone now?
I'm not sure. Is it on PC? Because I can look on PC real quick.
I'm assuming it's if it was on Xbox, it's got to be on PC.
Well, it wasn't an Xbox game. It was just in Game Pass,
I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure it is on PC as well. It has to be. I mean,
it is. It's on. Oh no, it's not Game Pass, but it's there to purchase.
So left Game Pass, right?
Yes, it did. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting, and I got my answer that Embracer does not publish games because
they're basically like ZeniMax, right? Where they just buy everything, kind of thing, you know. And then
they
Bethesda would
do
publish
buy
things.
everything. Yeah,
right?
they definitely do buy everything.
That's the way I look at Embracer Group, is like they're just that guy that buys everything.
They
Not say that like a slight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, dude. They buy everything. I mean, it's no secret. They love buying shit, and God bless them. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting because I never really thought about what Ham was saying. That, I mean, how long has it been since we had a Tomb Raider movie? Really, it's been a while, has it not?
It was like early 2000s, I want to say.
Yeah,
right?
I remember the last Tomb Raider was Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
So it's like that was like
Boy,
yeah, the
oh
early
boy,
2000s.
she was a good Tomb Raider in my opinion.
Yeah, she nailed the role. I'll tell you that.
She sure did.
What are you saying that, man? Creeping me out.
Angelina Jolie was hot as Tomb Raider, okay? Let's just be honest about things, all right? No.
Yeah, she looked the part. I give her that.
Oh my god.
Cozy says no.
I mean, hey, Cozy. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's reality.
No. She is saying that wasn't the last one, which I did. I thought there was like literally one movie that there's a Tomb Raider movie where she was younger.
Tomb Raider. Here's one from 2018.
Well, pretty freaking recent.
Okay, so that is very recent. Yeah, it's got a 48 on Metacritic, so people love it. But yeah, that is. I did not know that was a thing.
It's kind of like that Assassin's Creed movie where I keep on forgetting that exists. I'm like, oh yeah, they made an Assassin's Creed.
I forgot that exists.
Movie yeah, I always forget about that.
I watched it for 20 minutes and I was like, I'm out.
I forgot that until you just said it. My God, that was a terrible movie. Oh, that one got a 36 on Metacritic. So.
Oh man, it's a Tomb Raider win.
even better. But, oh my God. But I mean, first of all, before we move on to the last thing, do you guys have anything that you want to bring up for the news?
Not in particular. Nothing that I'm passionate to talk about right now.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Okay. Well, I feel like we can talk about this for just a few minutes here. Some Starfield details.
They're starting doing that again now, right?
Exactly. Yeah. They're starting to drip feed us info on Starfield again. Thankfully, thank God.
Yeah. How about they drip out that release date?
That would be something, wouldn't it? That'd be definitely something to talk about. My God. But yeah, we do have Starfield
some
details,
real news.
And I've got just a few highlights here outlined. We got details that NPCs can talk for you, which I did like a video on this Friday, and I was kind of speculating that perhaps this means we'll see some sort of leveling system for companions, like similar to Outer Worlds, which would be very cool. And I don't believe we've seen that in a Bethesda game, as far as I'm aware. So if that's there, that would be a first for a Bethesda game, which I'm fingers crossed for that. And then it says we'll also find out what happens to Earth and Starfield's lore. And I was super interested about that because Starfield takes place, I think they said it's 300 years in the future. So it's definitely in the future, but it's not so far in the future that it seems like fucking
like
unimportant.
Star Wars shit.
Yeah, it's not like 3,000 years in the future or some shit. Yeah. So it's like 300 years in the future. I'm interested to see what they do with Earth in a not so distant future, like a somewhat realistic future, because they're going with a more grounded tone for this game, or at least that's what Todd and everybody is saying about this game.
I'm assuming they're on like a different planet, right? They're all living on a different planet.
From what I understand, the whole of the game doesn't really take place in our galaxy. We can go back to our galaxy.
It doesn't take place in the Milky Way.
Yeah, we can go back to our galaxy and
might be destroyed or some shit. You think?
Who knows? That's the thing we got to find out. But there is apparently, according to this video that just came out last week, there is a colony on Mars, and I think it's there that they said you will learn what happened to Earth. So I'm interested to see what that's all about. And then finally, I say finally, like this wasn't the case in every Bethesda game before Fallout 4. But we'll be able to play through all the faction quest lines in one playthrough. So like you could do that in Skyrim. You could do that in Oblivion. You could do that in Morrowind, as far as I'm aware. All their games. With Fallout 4, they decided you just can't do that. And there was 2 main factions in particular that if you signed up for one faction, you couldn't do the other faction's quest line. You'd have to make a whole new character to do the other faction. So they thankfully learned from that mistake. So it's all pretty much good news for Starfield, other than, God knows when that release date's going to be. Who knows? But good news for Starfield last week. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they start doing this more often like they were doing earlier in the year. And not just with Starfield either. I would like these kind of updates with Redfall. Like this with, Forza. Whatever, anything, Avowed, Hellblade, whatever, it doesn't matter. Especially Fable. Give us anything,
or even Fable. just say something about Everwild. Like, is it still in development? Is it canceled? Just let us know if it's canceled.
All I need is a screenshot from time to time, a screenshot, and then just put audio of a developer talking over it, and I'll be happy.
I think if it was canceled, it would have been announced. I don't think they'd hide that.
What's the hype
about it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna wait 5 years only for them to finally announce that Everwild is canceled. Something stupid like that.
Who knows? Honestly, Everwild's weird because it's like we saw it and it looked interesting.
It was like in engine and everything.
Yeah, it looked interesting. I don't know if it's my kind of game, but it looked at the very least aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And then everything we've heard since then has been
either nothing or we don't know what this game is or some shit like that.
Exactly. Like it's been rebooted like 6 times. It's like, dude, I don't even know what's happening. But meanwhile, they're pumping out Sea of Thieves content like it's nobody's business. Like tons of content for Sea of Thieves. So they're a busy studio over there, Rare.
Yeah.
But
maybe they should just go back to Banjo-Kazooie if they can't figure this shit out.
Oh, dude, didn't Rare say they just don't ever want to work on Banjo anymore?
Yeah, I feel like because like people always say it's like, oh, Microsoft doesn't want them to make it, but I'm pretty sure Rare themselves just don't want to do it. It's not really a Microsoft problem.
They need to just say they need to just make a Conkers. Be cool.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Conker would be interesting.
I would fucking kill for a new Conker game. Like finally getting a sequel to Conker's Bad Fur Day.
They should do a partnership with Nintendo and do a Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
dude, a Conker would be really interesting, especially now.
And this is what today's shit to reference.
Yeah, and especially like if they kept it true to what like how foul and terrible Conker was. Like if they released a Conker that was just horrible and foul as shit right now. That would be, I know Microsoft wouldn't do that, but God, it would be so hilarious if they did. It'd be so perfect if they did that. Because now's the time to do it, honestly.
They just buy Squanch and then freaking have Squanch do it.
They just buy Squanch and give Justin Roiland some acid and let him write. Yeah. Let him write.
And get Chris Seaver to do the voice again for Conker. That'd be awesome.
Dude. I actually saw somebody today saying that Microsoft should look into acquiring Squanch. I don't know about that, but I would love some type of partnership.
Yeah.
I'd love them to acquire it just for the fact that Microsoft came into the industry edgy. I'd love them to keep that as like
that's actually a good point. Yeah. That's a really good point actually, because Microsoft they came in really edgy and they
like over edgy.
Yeah, like just aggressive a little bit, just like a little not cool, but it was cool.
You remember,
But it was
remember
cool
that
to me, but it
freaking,
wasn't
remember
cool
that
to adults. When we
remember
were
that Dark
young.
Slayer stuff? That Dark Slayer, was like, I'm Dark Master or something. It was like
Yeah, it was just
advertising
really
Xbox Live and shit.
just some
So,
really
like,
corny Xbox Live names. Just
yeah,
like they had like their whole ad for Xbox Live was that. It was just
yeah,
some dude eating
yeah,
chips with a
yeah.
headset,
Never
just
wearing pants,
fucking
you know.
cursing.
Like,
It's just like it was wild, and especially compared to what their marketing is now, like
yeah,
it's night and day. So if they even dip their toe back into that kind of stuff, that would be very welcome. And I think partnering or acquiring Swanch Games would be definitely a step in that direction. And I would very much welcome that because I mean playing High on Life just recently, it's like that game is actually like I was excited for it, but that game's actually really well made.
mhm.
Like actually very fun, one of the best shooters I've played this generation, kind of
Wow.
thing. Like, and I was not expecting that. I was expecting just
You're
like,
gonna have
oh,
like an
it's
okay game, like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's just gonna be a silly, funny
yeah,
thing that's gonna, consume a little bit of time.
yeah,
Like, I didn't expect to play it as much as I'm playing it with Witcher 3 out.
yeah,
The next gen update. I expected Witcher 3 to consume all my time and then I'll get
yeah,
around to High on Life whenever.
yeah,
But I've actually
That's
been
what you were
playing that
saying
like
to me too. I was like, dude, you're gonna want to play
exactly.
High on Life, and you're like,
yeah,
but The Witcher.
Exactly. I
yeah.
was thinking The Witcher, nothing can compete with it. And then here's High on Life definitely competing with it for me for my time. So a big surprise for me, definitely my surprise of the year, easy, hands
Yeah.
down. My surprise game of the year is High on Life. But
What do you think of the Metacritic score so far about it?
what is the Metacritic score
It's
so
like, I think it
far?
was like a 59 or something.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Xbox, isn't it? Because
yeah,
No,
I
I
think
thought that
so.
was for PC that it was like super
Was it?
low.
I don't
no, it's
remember.
PC was like 76. I think it's down to 74.
Yeah,
Um, and then Xbox, Twan's right. I'm gonna look that up for myself and let's see if it
yeah.
moved. But Twan's right. It was like in the 50s for High on Life.
But I mean, I think the player score was pretty good though from what last time I saw it.
High on Life Xbox Series X reviews. It's sitting at a 61, so it's come
Yeah,
up.
it went up. It went up.
Yeah, and it
But
has
yeah,
8.2 of a user score, and to me,
exactly.
I and many other people probably over highlight the Metacritic score when the real score, in my opinion, is probably the user score.
Yeah.
Because like I'd always like beforehand, you'd always see these like, especially for like a game like Madden. Madden would
Yeah,
be like a
Oh,
78 or a 68
yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that, but the user score was like a
it's
point
like a 3.
4.
yeah.
No,
Because
like,
like that's
no,
how
I'm
people
dead serious, like a
yeah,
point
yeah,
4.
yeah. Because that's how people actually feel about the game, right? That's how like the players
Exactly.
feel about it. You know, it's
Exactly.
like
People are just like, oh, this is the same old
this
bullshit I've
is
been
trash.
playing.
You know, it's garbage. You know,
So yeah,
Yeah.
like the user score is probably most important. Like High on Life on PC, the user score, even though the Metacritic score is higher, the user score is lower than the Xbox Series console. So
Yeah.
so to me, that says a lot about the Metacritic score. Like it seems like a lot of the people that review it, people don't tend to agree with a whole lot.
yeah.
It seems like again, it could be just a sign of the times. I feel like putting this game in the hands of a lot of big outlets
Mhm.
is just like asking for a bad score.
Oh yeah, because they're not gonna find it funny. You know.
Because like
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all outlets are like that. There's
Yeah.
like I'm looking at the Metacritic scores. You got some people gave it a 90,
Mhm.
83, I mean like 75, and then it drops off. Dude, just
Yeah.
drops off to 60, 58, 50, 30. Somebody gave
Yeah.
this game a 30.
That's wild. That's like
Uh,
something you give a game that doesn't function. You know.
Yeah, that's what
It's like.
and to be fair, maybe because this is specifically an Xbox review,
Mhm.
maybe it's because of it not functioning that first night.
Yeah, that could be it.
Perhaps that
Yeah.
could be like
That first night it was fucking rough.
it was pretty terrible, I can't lie. I mean, like even Xbox achievements gave High on Life a 60, and they call it an incredibly generic and not funny enough to make up for it. Wow. Okay. See, that's what I mean. It's like
Yeah, I mean
I
that's
don't know.
subjective humor at this end of the day too, right?
Exactly,
Like,
that's what I mean. For me, when I play High on Life, just about everything in that game makes me laugh. Call me immature. I know I'm immature. I know that. That's a fact, but it's fucking hilarious to me. So, like, I guess for these people, it's just not funny.
Yeah, just
Which
saying
is
something's not funny and giving it a bad score because of that, it's like, okay, I mean, you didn't find it funny, but someone
exactly.
might find it hilarious, you know?
I find it hard to
Yeah.
give something. Just don't review the game at that point, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't think it's funny, then
That's
it
a
being
huge part of the
funny,
game, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
like it being funny, like you thinking that game is funny hinges on how much you
How
enjoy
much
that
you
game hinges on how
exactly.
much you
Yeah.
think that's funny. And if you
Yeah.
don't think it's funny, doesn't matter how good the gameplay is, which I think the gameplay is fantastic, you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, don't even review it. Just
Yeah.
say like
It's not
it's
for
not for
me.
me.
Yeah,
It's not
and
for
give it
me.
to someone else or give it to another person that might be for in that same
Eh,
department or whatever. I don't fucking know.
But
You
yeah, I'm
know?
looking at all these reviews, dude. They like people bombing on this game. 30s, 40s, 40s, like I don't know. That game is my surprise game of the year, easy. And I put it if I got to rank games for like best games I played this year, one is Elden Ring,
Mhm.
two's probably Plague Tale, three's God of War, and then I'm struggling to come up with something that beats High on Life. I'm
A Need for Speed,
struggling. Like,
you saying?
thing is, Need for
Well,
Speed is great, but it's like I don't.
do
The
remakes or
gameplay.
remasters count in your opinion?
Ooh, are you talking Last of Us?
No, I'm not actually.
What are you talking about?
Ah,
Witcher?
nope. I'm actually talking about Uncharted.
Oh,
Because let's not forget about the Uncharted update and how phenomenal that
yeah,
game looked and ran.
that's tough, man. Yeah, dude.
Because I
Oh, you're
Okay,
done with the
honestly,
Legacy Collection?
yeah, the
from the
Legacy
stuff I've
Collection.
seen, from the
Yeah.
stuff I've seen with The Last of Us, I'm sure that's great, but I
Yeah.
don't know, something about Uncharted hit me a little bit harder.
Well,
Especially since it was multiple games, since it was like a game and a half pretty much compared to
true,
just one. And
true.
also keep in mind I never played 4 or Legacy of
Lost
Thieves
Legacy.
or Lost Legacy.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah. Also, I will say, Uncharted. As much as I enjoyed Last of Us, I'll enjoy Last of Us whenever I play it. Uncharted's the more fun game. It's
it
got a
is. It's so
fantastic
fun.
story, and it's just more fun than Last of Us, generally speaking. So it's like
The feeling too, like it doesn't. It's not so just negative
yeah,
all the
it's not
time.
exactly. It's
Mhm.
Last of Us is a very downer world.
Yeah.
Uncharted is quite the opposite. Although, again, with Uncharted 4, they did a really good job of mixing like the whole like personality of Nathan Drake with like actual serious shit that it, for the first time in the series you were like, oh, there's actually real consequences, like
Yeah.
actual real consequences, and it was refreshing to get that.
Mhm.
He
But it
seemed like a
still
regular
managed.
person too that was just tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, he's very relatable in Uncharted 4, like more so than he's ever been at any point in that series. So man, that's a good thing to
But
bring up. I have to
but
I might put that above High on Life. I mean, if we're counting that, then it goes above High
yeah.
on Life.
There's
So,
also Call of Duty.
god damn.
Mm.
So High on Life would be like sixth,
Yeah.
maybe about sixth. Which again
It's
is
still
not
up
where I
there though.
expected. It's not where I expected High on Life to be. I didn't expect that
Yeah,
to
you
crack
thought it'd
like
be like an okay game, maybe.
yeah, just an okay, funny game. That's all I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be. But to crack my top 10 even is just I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with that game.
Yeah. But
But
speaking of Uncharted, actually, they're
yep,
making a new game now, but apparently it's supposed to be different developers now. If that's
that is something I'm interested to hear more about
but we
because
still know too much about it though, right?
we don't know anything about all we know
Yeah.
is that it's not Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't even know if it's gonna be following Nathan Drake. It could be following Sam. It could be following. It could be following Chloe. It could be following Nadine. It could be following any number of characters.
A new person completely.
Could just follow Nathan Drake's daughter.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows what's going to happen with that game.
I'd hope they use Nathan Drake's daughter after introducing her at the end of 4.
It'd be kind of weird if they introduced her at the end of 4 and she just doesn't show up in the 5th game or whatever they're going to call it. It would be just weird.
If it's not Naughty Dog making it, I feel like it's going to be a spinoff or something. At least that's what I think.
Thing is,
I agree with that. I agree with what Twan said. I think it's going to be a spinoff, and I think it's going to be like a new guy, and you end up running into the daughter.
Okay. That's an interesting thing. See, I disagree with both of you on this. I don't think it's a spinoff. I think Naughty Dog is done with Uncharted. I think they've kind of told, because I mean that was their whole thing. Once Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy was out and done, they were just like
washing their hands.
This story is over. Like their whole thing was, this story is over. Like we can't do more of this. So it's like, I feel like, I mean, maybe you're right, but I feel like this is going to be a mainline thing. I feel like this is another studio coming in and saying, "Hey, if Naughty Dog doesn't want to do it,
we'll come up with it.
We'll do it."
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I mean, regardless whether it's a spinoff or a mainline story, I love Uncharted, and I will be there day one for it. So I'm wondering if it's going to be Bend, because
that'd be interesting.
They have the most experience outside of Naughty Dog with
doing it.
With Uncharted. They did say that they were helping, like that studio helps Naughty Dog the most out of any Sony studio. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But I do think that brings us to the end of all of our topics here. So, I mean, we go on now to takes of the week. And does anybody have a spicy take they saw this week, or a particularly spicy take they saw this week?
I actually don't.
See, that's interesting, because me and Twan were talking about this before the show. There's not a lot of takes this week. There's only one take, and me and Twan kind of both. Twan actually brought it up, so if you want to go with it, then you can go with it.
Oh, me?
Yeah, because you brought it up.
Well, which one? Because I think we're talking about two of them. Or
we were talking about ultimately one take, but you brought up the take that came from the take, which was that
how streamers are not your friends, or how,
content creators aren't your friends.
Yeah, content creators aren't your friends, or how you shouldn't expect anything back from them, and all they're meant to do is just essentially play a character on a camera and then entertain you, and that's it.
Which
even though obviously Matt disagrees with, right?
Heavily disagree with. Very heavily.
Because I mean, we have people early in this chat that we talk to, what I'm saying,
on a regular basis that are genuinely friends. We're all friends that came from content creation, came together, or through the community, through content creation, came together in some way, shape, or form. Like, I just disagree with that take. But I mean, hey, if that's how he feels, then I guess some people feel like that, and I guess that's fair. But I mean, man, I could not disagree.
I feel like it's definitely a bad way to look at things, in my opinion.
I feel like it is. I feel like it is. And again, not to get too deep into it all, but it's like, I don't feel like if I create content, I should be your therapist or anything.
Yeah,
because that's insane. But like, if you had a bad day and I make something that makes you not have such a bad day, then that's great. That's great. That's kind of what it should be.
You should make that person feel bad for
right. And if you've had a bad day and you leave a comment in my video saying I had a bad day, and then I just say, I don't put that shit in my comments, you fucking loser. Like, that's just out of pocket.
Yeah,
that's just really out of pocket. Like, dude, it's not called for. Just let them them vent a little bit. It's not like they're really bothering you. I mean, come on.
Maybe they don't have anyone else to vent to, right? And they got to vent somewhere,
Exactly.
right?
Just let it go. Just I mean, enjoy life. Come on. But yeah, that's really the only take that we came up with for this week, I think.
Yeah, I have zilch, man.
It was technically like 2 takes in one kind of thing because of just what that guy said, and then on top of like another take that someone made because of that situation. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean this looks like it's going to be kind of a lighter episode, which is, I'm not complaining. The last episode before a holiday break, I'm not going to complain about that. So I think now we're on to overrated, underrated, and then we kind of just wrap up the show. So anybody got an overrated or underrated game that they want to shout out this week?
I'm gonna go on ahead and shout out the game that I kind of showed off earlier, just because going as long as I have without playing a game like this really shows that I've missed tons of games throughout, the course of my favorite consoles life cycle, which is the original Xbox. And as in the game I was talking about earlier was Rogue Trooper. It's really kind of a weird game. You're like a blue soldier, and to be honest, during the gameplay and especially the cutscenes, I don't know who I am because everybody looks like so dang similar. But the game is fun, and for the time, it's not bad. It really reminds me of like a Conflict Desert Storm or something where you're just, grounded. You can roll whichever direction, and you got an LMG. And it's like you against everybody. But the cool thing about it is, like, as you progress in certain levels, like, you get like you like you run into crews that are stuck and trying to progress with you, so they'll help you kill enemies on the way to the next checkpoint or whatnot. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's just, kind of a solo, He-Man-ish army combat old school kind of game.
Sounds like fun.
It is pretty fun, but I'm only like about an hour into it. I'm gonna be streaming later tonight. I think in about a little over an hour. I might toss that in and play it for a little bit. I have a new thing I've been doing where I just it's called the what is this actually called? It's called the I gotta figure it out real quick. But anyways, yeah, it is a thing that I'm gonna be doing where I'm just streaming random games, random consoles and whatnot. And
is it specifically older games?
It could be newer games too, older or newer games.
Anything goes.
I have everything hooked up to my computer except my PS5 and Xbox, but it takes all of 3 seconds to unplug and plug one in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I have like, not even kidding, like 13 or 15 different consoles that are ready to go.
Nice.
And then just the Xbox and PlayStation that are on just quick standby.
Yeah, that's good. Nice to hear. That's cool.
I think you meant to say
sounds very efficient.
The Go box Ham meant to say, which is fine. But yeah.
But yeah, that's my underrated, overrated game.
Okay.
I was talking about this game early in the show, but that game is definitely split second. Like that game, I don't know why people didn't buy that game. I don't know why people didn't buy that game when it came out. Maybe people just don't like fun video games. Didn't like fun video games around that time or something. But
I hated fun video games back then.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, I hate. But around that time, Split Second came out, and also Blur came out at the same time, and both of those games bombed. So I guess people.
I remember Blur.
Yeah, it was another arcade. It was almost like a Mario Kart, like Mario Kart arcade racer kind of thing, where it's like you use licensed cars like Nissan and all that shit, but it was like Mario Kart essentially. So that game was also pretty good. But Yeah, I guess it was just people didn't want to. I guess arcade racers were just dying in general, so no one wanted to buy them. I guess I don't know. I can't think of any other reason why that game failed. Well, both of those games failed, but Split Second in particular, though, like that game is like wow. Like the only thing I could think of that maybe could be a criticism is like frame rates at 30 frames per second, but that's just more of a limitation of the hardware that was made for at the
Yeah, I can't
time.
hold that
So
against it.
but I mean, other than that, like literally the game has everything going for it. Like, yeah, like I said, music, the tracks, like all the tracks. Like you gotta like literally like when you play a track, it's like you gotta figure everything about this track. Like, okay, like what blows up here, or like what happens over here. Because like just learning a track is almost like learning a new game almost. Like it's yeah, because it could be a lot more strategic depending on how many times you played the same track, and then obviously there's like so many cars you could choose from. They all got their own quirks. Like each car is like has is good at its particular thing. And like this, for example, this car is really good at drifting. This car is really good at surviving. This car is really good at being really fast but hard to control. Just things like that. But yeah, just fantastic game. And unfortunately, the studio that made that game, they had to get closed. They got shut down literally right after that game. They never worked on a sequel, and I guess we'll never get that sequel, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
at least we have the game now. That's all. That's at
that's
least we
true.
got it.
You better
At
start
least we got
talking,
it.
Matt, before Twan starts crying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh man, I'm getting a little.
Well,
Eyes are getting a little sweaty.
You guys went underrated. I'm going overrated, and Loke's gonna love this one. Um, Metal Gear Solid. Anything before Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh
with
my
the
god, that's
with
insane.
with yeah,
like Snake Eater's overrated. That's all
overrated. That entire series for the most part
wow.
is just terribly overrated. And here's the thing.
Oh my god, you're insane.
Here's the thing, okay? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's phenomenal. Maybe it's truly phenomenal. Maybe it's some of the best games of all time. I'm never gonna find out, and do you know why? It's because I've tried, and the gameplay in those games, however many years after release, is just unacceptable. It's just it's horrible. The gameplay in those games are terrible. Like Metal Gear Solid 4 is where it gets like, okay, I can play this. This is really good. But Metal Gear Solid like 2, Metal Gear Solid on the PS1, forget it. Forget that. Metal Gear Solid 3, it's just like it's just like this feels like I'm playing on like a Game Boy Color. Shit sucks. But
wow.
but yeah, that's my picks for this week, and I feel like with that we can send the show out on a really good note and enter the holidays on a really good note. Actually,
you probably lost a few subscribers.
That was a negative note. That was a negative note.
I feel like it's a very positive.
And by the way, Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
But anyways, yes, everybody have a good holiday. Let's go ahead and do the outros. So yeah, you can find me at HamSolo05 Gaming on Twitter, and then TSWS Gaming on YouTube. Matt, go on ahead and let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me at Matt Likes Games on Twitter, and then you can also check me out on YouTube. Matt Likes Games videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So check that out. What about you, Twan?
You can find me here on this show whenever we do it. And also, you can find me on Twitter at It's Me Twan. That's about it for now, at least.
All right. Night. Good
awesome.
Night.
Well, thanks everybody for coming through. Stanley, I see you. Have a good rest of the holidays. I'll probably see you in another chat, hopefully in the near future. Cozy, go get yourself some damn help. And yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, everyone have a wonderful night. Peace out.
See ya.